Hi, Mark here. Tuesday, March the 3rd, going on 8:30 a.m. Eastern, going on 1:30 p.m. GMT. US session well underway, going into the afternoon portion of the European session. And let's have a look how the markets are shaping up today. As far as the US dollar is concerned, much of the same as we saw yesterday, picking up and carrying on from what we saw yesterday. A flight to US dollars confirming its status as the world's reserve currency, the world's reserve asset in times of conflict like we're seeing now. Certainly, this flight to US dollars is continuing. I've got support at 98.38. I've got resistance at 99.33. Resistance matching that which we saw middle of January, where sellers did step in and we had this big sell-off. Certainly different circumstances that we're in today. We'll see whether this does continue. The demand for US dollar continues and buyers look up to this 99.33 or at least maintain at these very high levels, or if there's a turnaround and sellers step in, they'll be looking down at the 98.38 support level. But certainly strong US dollar carrying on from yesterday into today's US session. Let's have a look at equity markets, the S&P. Interesting what we had yesterday. To start the new week, there was a gap lower, and then buyers did step in, recoup the losses. It went up to close pretty much at Friday's close. Gap lower again to start today, and sellers again pushing lower, selling off all the way down to support at 6,745. Small wicket left behind. That's buyers stepping in. We'll see now that the US session is underway. We've got Wall Street opening up in an hour. We'll wait to see whether we get a repeat of yesterday's price action and buyers do continue recouping these losses, pushing all the way up again. We'll see whether that plays out or whether sellers continue to push lower. We are seeing the inverse relationship here at this point during the futures market between strong US dollar and weak equities. Let's have a look at gold. Interesting to see gold sold off, the safe haven commodity not playing out today. What we are seeing playing out today, I believe, is some profit taking, firstly, from the very strong run up that we've seen, kind of in line with the old trading maxim of buy the rumor, sell the fact. It certainly is a fact, the reality of the war, perhaps some profit taking in that regard, and also the inverse relationship between strong US dollar, weak gold playing out as well. I've got resistance at 5,382 and I have support at 5,064. Wouldn't be surprised if buyers do see the lower price as a new buying opportunity. Buyers have stepped in already. If I zoom in and we look at the hourly, there you can see the bounce up off that support level. And in this hour, buying demand for gold and certainly recouping some of those earlier losses. We'll see how that plays out during the US session. The commodity, that's one-way traffic and nothing has changed, is the price of oil, and that's to have been expected. If you look from Friday's open at $70, today's high at $85, that's $15 move. That's an extreme and sharp move and rally to the upside. The gap higher to start the new week, that's yesterday. Tried higher and lower after opening there, but kind of closed at the open today. Slight gap higher, and then the strong move higher. There's the green candlestick. We'll see whether that can be maintained, whether that is maintained. Certainly, I believe more room on the upside until the buyers' sentiment, technicals all pointed to the upside. Iran, major supplier, clearly one of the warring parties, all the Gulf states involved, the Strait of Hormuz as the travel route for oil being threatened, all pointing to a very precarious position as far as the supply of oil, and there you're seeing the price continuing to go up. Bitcoin, Bitcoin continuing to trade in this very narrow range between 65,000 and 70,000. Pushed higher yesterday, unable to maintain around that 70,000 level. Sold off again today. There you see this the red candlestick. Buyers, their goal, aim, get back to that 70,000 level, break out and trade above the 70,000, which looked like we had yesterday, but didn't materialize. Sellers will be looking to break below the 66, 65,000 support level and push lower. We'll see how that does play out during the US session, but for now, certainly the sideways range continuing. Good trading, keep that discipline, and I'll see you at end of day session.